Game started.
Danny from Sweden. Let's see, I think e4. I'm due for e4. Played d4 and knight f3 recently. Okay, Sicilian. And let's go for the open Sicilian. I always like those open lines. And see what he comes up with here. Ah, an unusual move 4. Yeah, usually there's a knight move. So when black does not attack the pawn on e4, forcing a defense, then white can play c4. And usually it's a good idea. Don't know if that's the case here, but and then the knight can come in behind the pawn, still defending. And okay, so let's go for the usual setup here. I don't know where his dark squared bishop is going. It could go either to g7 or to e7. Ah, yes, right. He can harass the bishop immediately. And if I play here, there's a fork with e5. So I probably want to play to g5. Let the bishop be chased around a little bit. See how this goes. There's a line in one of the Sicilians where, yeah, black just chases that bishop back to g3. But I'm not sure if this is the exact position. Usually, yeah, I mean, black has just followed an unusual course of development, putting the bishop on d7 first. Okay, so that's interesting. So that's pinning the knight, which means this pawn is not defended, but the pawn is not under attack at the moment either. So why don't I go after this knight? So I'm not really threatening it, am I? Because bishop takes, queen takes, knight takes here. So it's not a true threat because the queen's got two jobs. Okay, and now this pawn is being attacked. So I guess I need to play f3. Defending the pawn without blocking. There's this temptation to play bishop d3, but then the knight is hanging. So unless you have a tactical trick to defend it, can't get away with that. Yeah, so the advantage of playing f3 is the bishop can come all the way back to f2, help shore up the center. So now there's potentially two potential attackers on the knight, but I've got two defenders. So let's just castle here. And he's set up for an early kingside attack with the g5 already played. But is that good? I'm not sure. Not sure at all. Okay, so I'm thinking about the move knight to d5. And I'm also thinking about playing a6, a3, and b4, kicking the queen. And if knight to d5, if he trades, I get this nice pawn wedge in the center. But right now I think this is looking a little more attractive to me. And it keeps this knight out of b4. And I'm wondering if my knight can hop into f5 there too. And it's potentially putting pressure on c4 there. But it's defended and not yet under attack. Okay, so the queen went there. So let's put the rook on the c file and play. Now knight d5 is a real threat because knight here, knight takes, pawn takes, hits the knight and it's pinned. So he actually can't even take it. Now, what else is going on here? Is there anything? Sometimes there's a weakness on e7 here. So I think he has to move his queen. He could go to either d8 or b8, since the knight is defending e7. But if he does go to b8, then I guess I have the idea of playing b5 here, trying to chase this knight away and then grabbing on e7. Or maybe exchanging immediately and then taking on e7. Yeah, so queen moves, knight takes knight, pawn, queen or bishop or pawn takes, and then knight here, check, picks up the exchange and a pawn. Yeah, okay, so I may have already stumbled into a winning tactic here. Yeah, this setup here, oh, it's interesting. He goes for the pin. So I'm going to take the queen, and he gets
check.
Couple pieces for the queen. He gets a rook. Oh, did I calculate this wrong? Let's see. If I take the knight and he takes the rook, I have a queen, a rook, and a bishop, and he has 2 rooks and 2 bishops. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. He gets basically a rook and a bishop for the queen, and the pawns stay the same. So this should be a slight advantage for white. So bishop to b4, bishop to b6 rather. Where is that rook going? I think it is a bit of an interesting position. So he can double immediately on the c file now, which is probably good for him. Okay, let's get my rook out. I can't place it all the way to the c file where I'd like it, but it does at least support bishop to d4 here. That's a good bishop. It might be useful to trade it off and also get it out of here so my king has space to move to in case he comes down here. So he can double his rooks and get a rook to c7. Could be awkward for me. Okay. He's chasing my queen to a dark square. Let's see. But he can play bishop to c3. If I go, for example, queen d2, which is what I wanted to go. Bishop c3, and then where does the queen go? So if he lets me play rook to, yeah, he doesn't. I was going to say if he lets me play rook to c1, then I will. But he's not going to let me. He's going to harass me, which is good strategy on his part. Okay, so maybe queen b6. It's not threatening anything, but it opens up a few squares for my bishop. And he is threatening to come in here. But if his rook comes forward to here, I can at least grab a pawn. And he can't immediately chase my queen away because the pawn covers this c6 square, crucially covering the c6 square. So now I'm thinking bishop d4. I need to reduce the number of pieces. This is not good. This is not good. So I can't take. Oh, man. And how do I defend it? Yeah, good move, Danny. So is there any way to save this? If I move the king, well, I mean, I can. No, I can't move the king, actually. The bishop is covering this square. The queen can't defend the rook. Okay, so I take, he takes, check. I play bishop here, bishop to e1, he takes. On e1 I play king f2, and he's got, no, he can't play that. His bishop is still on c1. No, his bishop is on e1. I mean his rook. His rook is on e1. If his rook was on d1, then he'd have this bishop here. Okay, so I have to take. I didn't see any other move.
Check.
And lose the bishop. So he got a rook and a bishop for a rook.
Check.
So now we've got a queen against a rook and two bishops. This is better for the side with all the little pieces. Unless there's some tactic here. Yes, king has space. I can check and pick up a pawn or two.
Check.
Where can I go? Okay, he's got bishop check. I have king to
check.
h3.
Check.
Oh, I didn't see that. And then checkmate. Well, that's pretty nicely played, Danny. I have to upload this. Rook takes.
Checkmate.
Yeah, he saw it. Okay, so I'll do a postmortem as usual. See you guys later. Bye.